This video was sponsored by Enhance, Neowatt, A Better Road Planner, Elbilmek, Kempower and Bilkomponenter. Yo, what's up? We're in Chiang Mai getting ready for a range test of this Leapmotor B10. This is rear-wheel drive, the top spec with 67 kilowatt-hour battery. So I have indication that it seems to be quite efficient. We're gonna find out now. So yeah, we are now on a family trip, actually on the way to Pattaya. So I have some extra weight with me. We have the Cybex Anoris T2 over there, and then the Isofix base here, and then in the trunk, let me see, I don't remember how much we put in here. Shouldn't matter too much though. Okay, E-Priam is here. So we might be talking about around 30 kilograms of extra payload here. So yeah, that might bring the consumption slightly more up. Now I wonder, in Europe, will we actually get the Nyland tires there? Hopefully not, because they don't seem to be super grippy, but still okay. There's going to be the sport version of the Nyland. Steering wheel is on the right side with the wrong side, should have been left side with the right side. There, you see, it's quite cold outside. 16 degrees Celsius only. Normally it would be maybe 20, 21 degrees Celsius here during the night. So yeah, just bear that in mind, that the result might be super nice versus how it could be. Oh, we're on the move. So it looks kind of dark outside because we have tint in the front windscreen all over the windows actually. As actually the camera is compensating by turning up the gain, so there's more noise here. But yeah, so we're doing the 90 kilometers per hour test. First, the screen is kind of bright. What about that screen? Yeah, okay, they're all kind of bright. Okay, so that is, well, let me see, 90 GPS speed is 94 here. Okay, I'm using auto steer. It's doing a relatively good job, but actually, even at low speed, you can see that it micro adjust a bit, and especially at higher speed, I'll try to show you, it just goes like left and right, left, right, left, right all the time, and stop micro adjusting. Just look at how the curve goes and then just go smoother. Yeah, so we actually have a proper trip meter here. This is nice, unlike most Chinese cars. You know, they will show you just an average or whatever. However, it doesn't show the true value because it's capped at 350 watt-hour per kilometer. But that's no problem now. But when you go to Dian Kang, you will notice that, yeah, or on the mountain roads. Yeah. So let me see here. Also, we see the, yeah, we actually see the tire temperature. Oh, very nice. And also, well, I don't know, it's in kPa, kilopascal. I haven't figured out where the heck I should switch it to bar, because to me it's all about the bars. Now the suspension is a bit bouncy. It's been set to be soft, you know, which is good on these concrete roads. They're not that smooth. So yeah, when you toss it around corners, you will feel that it is a bit bold, but I mean, it has 17 centimeter of ground clearance. So for example, compared to the competitor MGS5, that car has only around 13 centimeters. So this is like, okay, a little bit taller, more comfy, more bold, but however, it's also rear-wheel drive, unlike, for example, the Jayco 5. But okay, that's a cheap car. But you know, similar cars might have front-wheel drive, like the Geely EX5, but rear-wheel drive is the way to go, or of course, all-wheel drive. But I mean, overall comfort, it's actually quite good. Yeah, when it comes to noise, okay, I'm not able to measure it here in Thailand, and I can do it, but I want to do it consistently in the Norway stretch. It seems like it has okay noise level, but maybe some wind noise at higher speed, or when it's windy outside. And you see, I need to keep HVAC at 26 degrees Celsius to have it. Car's struggling a bit here. Left. It's struggling a bit now. What are you doing? Shit. Yeah. Okay. Maybe not the smoothest auto steer, but yeah. So I need to keep it at 26 degrees Celsius to have it nice and comfy in here. It's not over warm in here, but you'll see soon in a couple of weeks when I borrow Tesla that in Tesla, you can probably have it at 21, 22 degrees Celsius to have the same level of comfort. So the Chinese cars, as always, they've been tuned so it's like this. Even in the daytime when it's hot outside, right, 30 degrees Celsius, I normally need to keep it at 25, 26 degrees also to keep it okay. Otherwise, if I have it 21 degrees Celsius, it will actually be freezing cold in here. And another weird feature is that this car, the cruise control and the auto steer here, the cruise control has no memory. So when you disengage it, you need to just re-engage it and then set the same speed you want again over and over again. So I haven't found a way to do it. I even asked the PR guys in Thailand, and they said, well, you just have to like cruise to the speed you want and then set it. I'm like, really? Right, first test, 154 watt-hour per kilometer. That is actually quite good. And also this car underports distance, so the real consumption is around 150 only in cold 16 degrees Celsius weather. Wow. Let's try 120 test then. Okay, and this time we have to cruise at 125 speed to match 120 GPS speed. So yeah, I don't know what's up with this. Maybe just the tire combo. I did fill the tires, so they should have correct tire pressure according to the weather outside. So, well, and then here's what I've been talking about, that there should be a jolt in the beginning because of the kinetic energy we have, especially at 120 kilometers per hour, but it doesn't show 300, it doesn't show 400, 500 watt-hour per kilometer when we start driving like it should be, you know. So it's just slightly misleading here, but not a big deal really. And now that we go on the high speed, yes, the high speed, and the Germans here, that is nicht schnell. Okay, but now I can feel more of the bumps, especially the longer bumps, and I can feel the bounciness with this car. So, I mean, yeah, it's comfy, but not so sporty. And also here, I hear not that much road noise, which is good, but here's some wind noise. So, yeah, I mean, for this price range, I think that's actually highly acceptable. Well, actually, over here right now, it's going quite smooth, even in the high speed. So maybe it just depends. Sometimes it will do the little jiggly, and sometimes it's actually okay. Okay, this time 224 watt-hour per kilometer. In the previous run, I claimed that it was underreporting, but actually that was another car. Yeah, so I think the distance should be more or less correct. So if I find the measurement later, I can do it, but I'm not going to do Sunday drive with this car. So yeah, we'll see. Okay, now we're topping up on these new wonderful chargers, 180 kilowatt, but 300 amp limited on the cable. Well, at least it's better than the old charger. That's 120 kilowatt and 200 amp limited. So we have plenty of chargers here, at least for Thai standards. So this is like Ioniq in the old days. But the charger screen here is not that useful. It shows me how many % I have and how many minutes remaining, but not how fast we're charging. We see here, well, volts and amps, okay. You have to do the math yourself. You're Asian, right? Well, fortunately, we can see here in the EV Station Plus app that we are receiving 119, well, actually 120 kilowatt. But yeah, if I was on that charger over there, I'll be 200 amp limited. And because this is not the 800 volt car, then will be limited to around, well, actually around 88 kilowatt, because the voltage on this car is actually quite high. This charging voltage is 440, so maybe the battery voltage is around 430. So according to earlier measurement, I have estimated we have 61 kilowatt hour net capacity, and that gives us almost 400 kilometers of range. That's actually not too bad for this affordable car. So I actually consider it one of the best cars in this price range in Thailand. And if you're in Europe and you consider this car, okay, then we have more competitors out there. But I mean, okay, the software is not perfect. It might need some tweaks here and there, but it is very quiet. It doesn't bing bong at me unlike most other Chinese cars. So yeah, maybe you should go check it out, the Leapmotor B10. So that's going to be for now. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, thank you for watching and talk to you later.